Brother Floyd Mayweather made $1.2 billion in his boxing career. $1.2 billion. And right now in 2026, the IRS is chasing him for unpaid taxes. Jewelers are suing him across multiple cities. His properties are foreclosing. And he has somehow lined up 3 separate fights this year just to keep the lights on. This is not a rumor. This is all on public record. And the boxing world is absolutely done pretending this is anything other than what it is. Stay with me, because by the time we get to the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how a man who made $250 million in a single night ended up here. And the answer is going to make your jaw drop. Let us start with the numbers, because I think people genuinely do not understand the scale of what we are talking about. Floyd Mayweather did not just make good money. He made historically, embarrassingly, almost incomprehensibly large amounts of money. Over a 21-year professional career, he earned an estimated $1.2 billion. His fight against Pacquiao in 2015 generated over $410 million in pay-per-view revenue, and Floyd personally pocketed $250 million from that single night. One fight, one night, $250 million. His fight against McGregor in 2017 brought in another $300 million for Floyd personally. Forbes listed him as the highest-paid athlete in the entire world multiple years running. He was not just rich, he was in a category that almost no athlete in human history has ever reached. And it all started with one decision that people forget about. In 2006, Floyd was signed to Bob Arum's Top Rank promotion, and Arum was taking 25% of every purse. Floyd wanted more. He paid the $750,000 exit fee out of his own pocket, walked away, and started promoting himself. 1 year later, he made $25 million for the De La Hoya fight, because now he owned a percentage of every ticket sold and every pay-per-view buy. That single bet on himself is what built the entire empire. So how does a man who built that empire end up where Floyd is right now? Stay with me. Here is the thing about Floyd's lifestyle that people always underestimated. He was not just living large, he was spending in a category that most actual billionaires do not touch. Financial experts estimated Floyd was spending upwards of $50 million a year just to maintain his lifestyle. Not to grow anything, not to invest, just to keep everything running at the level he had built. Multiple private jets simultaneously, properties in Las Vegas, Beverly Hills, Miami, and New York all running at the same time. An entourage of dozens of people on full payroll. Bags of cash taken to casinos and gambled away in single sittings. Watches costing more than houses. When you are spending $50 million a year and the 9-figure fight paydays stop coming, the math breaks very quickly. And that is exactly what started showing up on public record. A $54 million loan taken out from a billionaire financier at 9% interest just to stay afloat. 9% on $54 million is nearly $5 million a year in interest payments alone. 2 commercial properties going into foreclosure within an 18-month window. His Las Vegas strip club building nearly seized over $52,000 in unpaid property taxes. 2 condos at Trump International Hotel seized by Clark County for unpaid bills. And then the detail that broke the internet. A $568 lien placed on his Las Vegas mansion for unpaid trash collection. Floyd "Money" Mayweather had a government lien on his personal home because he did not pay the garbage bill. And then the IRS came knocking. Again. Because this is not the first time. In 2009, Floyd owed the IRS $6.4 million. Between 2015 and 2017, he racked up $22.2 million in unpaid taxes from the Pacquiao fight alone. He used the McGregor payday to clear it. And now, in March 2026, the IRS filed another $7.3 million federal tax lien against him for unpaid taxes from 2018 and 2023. Same cycle, different year. Bigger hole. The reactions from around the boxing world have been brutal, and nobody is holding back. Oscar De La Hoya went directly at Floyd publicly. He said, "Stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions and put your legacy first." He said, "Nobody wants to remember you like this." And then he added, "I know life is hard and life is expensive, but come on, dude." From Oscar De La Hoya of all people, that is a devastating takedown. Conor McGregor was even more blunt. He said Floyd came back from retirement because of a $22 million tax debt and should have just paid his taxes and stayed retired. The implication was clear. Every comeback, every exhibition, Every fight announcement traces back to the same thing: bills that need paying. And then there is the jewelry situation, which tells you everything about the pattern. A 2015 lawsuit over $1.4 million in unpaid jewelry debts in Las Vegas. A Miami jeweler filing a lawsuit claiming Floyd owes nearly $3.9 million for luxury items. And the Dubai situation, where Tank Davis publicly claimed Floyd was being held by the Dubai government over debts and told him to go live on social media to prove he was free. Floyd did not go live. Given his personality, that silence said everything.
One of the major New York jewelry dealers, I was hanging out with him at this guy's house.
Yes.
Because this guy spends millions on jewelry. So this guy was there. Me and him got into a conversation. He said, Floyd Mayweather is broke. His spending has outpaced how much money he's making. So I talked about this on camera. I was like, oh, you're a hater. You're jealous of his money. You're broke compared to Floyd, blah, blah. Well, recently the IRS filed a $7.3 million tax lien.
That's when...
for unpaid taxes from 2018 to 2023. For 5 years, unpaid taxes.
When I saw that yesterday, I'm the same. I thought it was all BS for years until I saw the lien yesterday too, the 7.3 million.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this shit real.
This shit real.
Mike Tyson said he does not like Floyd and called him out for constantly flaunting wealth in retirement. And the double standard was noted everywhere. Floyd publicly mocked the Tyson versus Jake Paul exhibition and said when you watch Floyd Mayweather, you have to pay. This from the man who fought Logan Paul in an exhibition for a check and has spent years doing global exhibitions for cash. The boxing world called it out immediately. Eddie Hearn was diplomatic, but the message was clear. He said Floyd's lifestyle likely necessitates ongoing income. Translation: the exhibitions are not passion projects. They are cash flow mechanisms for a lifestyle that requires constant revenue just to maintain itself. Here is where it gets crazy, because Floyd himself gave the game away in an interview when he was asked about the biggest mistake of his life. His answer was not a bad investment, not a business decision gone wrong. He said trust. He looked at the camera and said every morning he looks in the mirror while brushing his teeth and tells himself the only person he can trust is the one staring back at him, because everyone else will let you down eventually. And now consider what that actually means in the context of everything happening right now. He is suing Showtime for $340 million, claiming his former manager Al Heyman diverted hundreds of millions of his fight earnings into secret accounts he did not even know existed. He says when his team asked for the financial records, they were told the documents were lost in a flood. Lost in a flood for one of the highest-grossing boxing promotions in television history. Logan Paul confirmed on camera that Floyd owes him somewhere between $2 and $5 million from their exhibition fight. He said Floyd used his name and likeness to do deals in Dubai without telling him, and pocketed around $10 million in cash from ticketing arrangements. There is an active lawsuit over it in New York right now. And then the crypto situation. Floyd promoted a cryptocurrency called Ethereum Max to his followers. A class action lawsuit was filed claiming celebrities misled investors to boost the token's value, so insiders could sell their holdings at a profit. A judge dismissed the case on a technicality, but acknowledged the lawsuit raised legitimate concerns about what Floyd was doing. No cap, the picture that emerges is of a man who made $1 billion, trusted the wrong people, spent everything that was not stolen, and is now trying to fight his way back to solvency at nearly 50 years old. The Pacquiao rematch, the Mike Tyson exhibition, the Athens kickboxing fight. 3 fights in 1 year. This is not competitive hunger. This is the same move he pulled after every previous IRS crisis. Floyd fights to pay off Floyd's debts. The show has to keep getting bigger because the holes keep getting deeper.
They exposed the shit out of Floyd Mayweather. Maybe he's 50 or somebody who don't like Floyd, but they did a hit piece on Floyd Mayweather. Check this out. So it was a typical scene for anyone familiar with the life, the luxurious life that Floyd Mayweather flaunts on social media. The 40-year-old boxing champion sitting in a cabin of a private jet counting out a heap of $100 bills, talking about the envy that gets directed at him. Since his retirement, he's fashioned himself as a business mogul who success keeps him in Bugatti cars, Richard Mille watches, Gucci clothing, and opulent mansions. I own $1 billion buildings. Everything is no longer paid for. They're exposing him if you don't know. Mayweather took out millions of dollars in mortgages on his homes last year. Meanwhile, in the last 18 months, 2 of Mayweather commercial properties have been foreclosed, and he's at risk of losing his Las Vegas business or building that houses his strip club, the Girl Collection, over $52,000 in back property taxes and penalties. Mayweather has been pursued by creditors over Air Mayweather, which is his plane, the Gulfstream jet that's been the symbol of his mega wealth. In December, FAA records showed that he had sold the plane, and he sold mansions in Beverly Hills and Miami to 2 of his real estate partners.
So here is where everything lands. Floyd Mayweather paid $750,000 to bet on himself in 2006 and built a billion-dollar empire from nothing. He made $250 million in a single night. He was the highest-paid athlete on the planet 3 years running. Here is what I want to know from the comments. Do you feel sorry for Floyd, or do you think this is karma catching up? Drop it below. Subscribe if you are new. See you in the next one.